Hey there, health enthusiasts. Welcome back to Body Basics, where we break down complex medical topics into bite-sized, easy-to-understand pieces. I'm your host, and today we're tackling a crucial topic that affects millions worldwide. Did you know that every 2 minutes, someone in the United States is diagnosed with breast cancer? That's about the same time it takes to brush your teeth. And speaking of daily routines, this video might just save your life or the life of someone you love. In the next 14 minutes, we're going to dive deep into everything you need to know about breast cancer. No complicated medical jargon, just straight facts and practical information that could make all the difference. Think of this as your complete guide to understanding breast cancer, from what it is to how we can fight it. Let's start with the basics. What exactly is breast cancer? You know how your body is made up of billions of cells that usually know exactly what to do? Well, sometimes these cells get their wires crossed. Imagine a factory worker who starts making way too many products and can't stop. That's basically what happens in breast cancer. These overachieving cells multiply out of control, forming what we call a tumor. Now, before you start picturing a single type of breast cancer, it's actually more like a family of related conditions. The most common type is called ductal carcinoma in situ, or DCIS. Think of it as the troublemaker that hasn't left home yet. It's still contained in the milk ducts. Then there's invasive ductal carcinoma, which is like that same troublemaker after they've moved out and started causing problems in the neighborhood. And let's not forget invasive lobular carcinoma, which starts in the milk-producing glands. Each type needs its own approach to treatment, kind of like how you wouldn't use the same strategy to handle all your different family members, right? Speaking of family, let's talk about what causes breast cancer, because this is where things get really interesting. First up, genetics. You've probably heard about the BRCA1 and BRCA2 genes. I like to call them the body's security guards. When these genes are working properly, they help prevent cancer. But sometimes these security guards have a faulty uniform, a mutation, and they can't do their job properly. If your mom or sister has one of these mutations, you might want to get tested too. But here's the thing, genetics isn't the whole story. It's more like a recipe where genes are just one ingredient. Your lifestyle choices play a huge role too. Think of your body as a garden. What you put into it matters. A diet high in processed foods and alcohol is like feeding your garden junk food. Regular exercise, on the other hand, is like giving your garden the perfect amount of sunlight and water. Age is another factor we can't control, kind of like how we can't control the weather in our garden. The risk of breast cancer increases as we get older, particularly after menopause. Being female is obviously a major risk factor, though men can get breast cancer too. About 1 in 100 breast cancer cases are in men. Previous radiation exposure, especially to the chest area, can also increase risk. It's like getting too much sunlight in one spot of your garden. It might cause problems down the line. Now let's talk about something super important. Symptoms. Your breasts are like fingerprints, unique to you, and no one else knows them better than you do. That's why it's crucial to know what's normal for you. The most common sign is a new lump in the breast or armpit area, but don't panic if you find one. About 80% of lumps turn out to be non-cancerous. It's like finding a weird-looking vegetable in your garden. It might look concerning, but often it's just growing in its own unique way. Other signs to watch for include changes in breast size or shape, especially if it's just one side. Nipple discharge, particularly if it's bloody, or skin changes like dimpling or redness. Think of your breast skin like the surface of a strawberry. If it suddenly starts looking more like an orange peel, that's something to get checked out. This brings us to diagnosis, and let me tell you, modern medicine has some pretty impressive tools in its arsenal. It starts with something you can do at home, the self-exam. Think of it as a monthly checkup of your garden. You're looking for anything new or different. The best time to do this is about a week after your period starts, when your breasts are least likely to be tender or swollen. Then there are mammograms, basically an X-ray of your breast tissue. Yes, they're about as comfortable as trying to do yoga in skinny jeans, but they can detect changes up to 2 years before you or your doctor might feel a lump. That's pretty amazing when you think about it. Ultrasounds are like the backup singers to mammograms. especially useful for younger women or those with dense breast tissue. If something suspicious shows up, the next step might be a biopsy. This is where doctors take a small sample of tissue to examine under a microscope. Think of it like taking a tiny bite of a cake to figure out what flavor it is. This is the gold standard for diagnosis. It tells us not just if cancer is present, but exactly what type it is. Let's talk about staging, which is how doctors describe how far the cancer has spread. It's like a GPS for cancer. It tells us exactly where we are and helps plan where we need to go. Stage 0 means the cancer cells are still contained in their original location. They haven't sent any explorers out yet. Stages 1 through 3 mean the cancer has become invasive, but is still relatively localized. Stage 4 means the cancer has spread to distant parts of the body, like the bones, liver, or lungs. Now for the part everyone wants to know about: treatment. Modern breast cancer treatment is like having a whole toolkit of options, and doctors can mix and match these tools depending on your specific situation. Surgery is often the first line of defense. You've got two main options here: lumpectomy, where they remove just the tumor and some surrounding tissue. Think of it as precision weeding in your garden. Or mastectomy, where they remove the entire breast, more like replanting an entire section of your garden. Radiation therapy often follows surgery. It's like having a very precise weed killer that targets any remaining cancer cells that might be hiding. Yes, it can make you tired and your skin might get irritated, but it's incredibly effective at reducing the risk of cancer coming back. Chemotherapy is the heavy hitter in our arsenal. These powerful drugs travel throughout your body, hunting down cancer cells wherever they might be hiding. Yes, this is the treatment that might cause hair loss and nausea, but modern medicines can help manage these side effects much better than in the past. Think of it as a reset button for your body. It's tough, but it can be incredibly effective. For certain types of breast cancer, we also have targeted therapies. These are like smart bombs that specifically target cancer cells while leaving healthy cells alone. And if your cancer is hormone receptor positive, meaning it grows in response to hormones, hormone therapy can help starve the cancer of what it needs to grow. Let's talk about something that often gets overlooked: the emotional impact of breast cancer. Fighting cancer is like running a marathon. It's not just physically demanding, it's mentally exhausting too. That's why having a support system is crucial. Whether it's family, friends, or a support group, having people in your corner can make all the difference. And there's absolutely no shame in talking to a mental health professional. They're like personal trainers for your mind, helping you stay strong through the journey. Now let's talk prevention, because there's a lot you can do to reduce your risk. Think of it as building a fortress around your health. Regular exercise? That's like having guards patrolling your fortress. A healthy diet rich in fruits, vegetables, and whole grains. That's like stocking your fortress with the best supplies. Limiting alcohol and avoiding smoking? That's like not letting known troublemakers into your fortress. But perhaps the most important prevention tool is regular screening. For most women, this means starting annual mammograms at age 40. If you have a family history or other risk factors, you might need to start earlier. Yes, mammograms aren't exactly a fun day at the spa, but they're like having security cameras for your health. They can catch problems before they become serious. Before we wrap up, I want to leave you with some hope. Breast cancer survival rates have increased dramatically over the past few decades, thanks to better screening and treatment options. Today, the 5-year survival rate for breast cancer caught early is over 90%. That's incredible progress. Here's your call to action. First, share this video with the important women in your life. Knowledge is power, and this information could save lives. Second, if you're due for a mammogram, make that appointment today. Third, consider supporting breast cancer research. Even small donations can help fund the next breakthrough in treatment. Remember, at Body Basics, we believe that understanding your health is the first step to taking control of it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to stay updated on more health topics that matter to you. Stay healthy, stay informed, and keep taking care of that amazing body of yours.